We're back again with another PO or Go.
Horror edition.
Welcome back. Today, we're back with PO or Go. We have a spooky edition today. We're going to do some scarier statues and objects. I don't know if these all count as statues, but you'll see what we mean in a second here.
So we're going with a mix of figures and smaller statues today. So these are all going to be 1/10 statue, 1/6 figures, 1/12 figures.
Yes.
So kind of we're all over the place.
So we're going to go ahead and get into it today. And we're going to start out with Michael Myers, classic.
Okay, so this is the Iron Studios. This is a 1/10 scale. So I think this is going to be somewhere around 8 or 9 inches. You don't really see a lot of fancy bases.
Yeah.
It's almost like a diorama where he's kind of holding the body and you've got the pumpkin and the tombstone in the background. Really clever kind of base with kind of, because Michael Myers and Freddy both are just very plain.
Oh yeah, I would say so.
Is that the word?
I think Michael Myers more than anybody. I think he's very classic, very, every picture you see of him, he's just kind of standing there. So this one, to have something with, you have a body and you have all the props from the movies. I think this kind of encompasses all of the Halloween movies. I don't really know if you would double up on Michael Myers statue. I mean, if that's your thing, obviously. But in my case, I don't know that I would really do that.
If we need a depiction without going massive, quarter scale, I think they even have some that are half scales,
which are too big,
like
y'all.
3 feet.
Way too big.
You have to have the right kind of house, and we do not have that here.
Yes.
So what do you think about this one?
I love this statue, and I'm gonna go ahead and jump in and just say this is gonna be a PO. Yeah. I'm getting this statue. I love it. I think it's so nice. It's well put together. It has a nice feeling to it. I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree.
PO, y'all.
I think, so we're going to grab this one.
Starting out with a PO for this video.
We're going to grab this one from Collector Zone.
Shout out Collector Zone. Check
them out. They have shipping included, which is nice for statues to kind of give you an idea. So you don't have that. Sideshow is amazing, and a lot of other places are amazing, but you always have like that shipping come later.
Right.
For me personally, I kind of like to see what everything's going to be up front and then kind of decide from there.
Absolutely.
All right, what's next?
Moving on, we're going to the Scorched Xenomorph from Alien Romulus. This is the new Alien movie. Alien fan over here. I love Alien. I've watched all the movies. I think this one, this is a hot toy, by the way. So it's not a statue. You can pose it. You can kind of move with it a little bit. And I think for Alien, that's a really good thing. I feel like a lot of the statues of Alien, same with like Predator, are a little too static for me.
Or big.
Or ginormous for me.
Yeah.
So this one being smaller, hot toy size, which is about...
So this is a 1/6 scale. But this is a large 1/6 scale. So this thing, I think if you can kind of crouch him and squeeze him a little bit, but I think standing up he's about 14 inches. So that's pretty,
which is large.
That's pretty tall. And that tail is large, but it's a wire on that.
You can move it.
Yeah. So for me, I feel like this is really a movable statue.
Yeah, I mean, especially having I wasn't aware that the tail was a wire. For that, you can literally pose it however you want, and you can move it all the time.
And it has a light up base,
along with every other statue ever now.
Well, this is a figure though.
It's true.
And it has a face hugger.
Win me over with a face hugger. I mean, I think that's awesome.
I mean, there's little bitty extra things. He has the different type of mouth, so one can protrude out. So Hot Toys made some Alien figures years ago, And if you've ever looked on the aftermarket, they're pretty hard to find and they're pretty expensive. So in my opinion, if you're going to want something like this, which I think we need something like this. Because I don't know if if I want to buy like a quarter scale or a third scale, that's probably not for me. But I think this size to kind of have a representation, even though this is, kind of a specific type of alien, I don't think it's that much different that you can't just have one by itself and kind of represent everything.
I really we have the pictures in front of us because, when we talk about it, I like to see the different things that I didn't see before. I love the head on this alien. Like, it's different than, obviously, this one being from the new movie, and it's a scorched version, so, like you said, it's a little different. But having, like, the veins and, like, just the little gills and stuff in its head is so satisfying for me. It kind of makes it a little bit more human, which I'm all about making monsters more human. And I think this one really scratches that itch for me. I really like this figure.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to grab this one too.
P.O. We're starting out with 2 P.O.s. This is crazy.
We're going to go clean. We're going to clean sweep today.
I don't know. Right now it's kind of looking like it. But guys, we're going to have to get with this.
I would say that kind of, going back to some other things, the thing about Hot Toys right now is they're re-releasing or they're doing 2.0s. And Molly got the Winter Soldier for me, which is a figure that I really, really love. But the materials were not great on the first one.
But they fixed it.
So hopefully.
Maybe.
And this is another one. So I think this is a better version of something. Now, it's not movie ideal perfect if you're that kind of person. But if you just want a representation, I think this is a great way to get it. And you can get it new with all the extra upgrades that the originals did not have.
If your idea is not to get like the OG from like Alien the original, then I would definitely use this one as your option.
Yeah, Hot Toys is bringing the heat with a lot of 2.0s, and that's kind of what it's like. I'm not sure if I want to pre-order a lot of these, but I could see this might be an item that might go waitlist, and I feel like if it does go waitlist, that means it gets no longer sold. If it goes like that, I feel like the price is just going to jump up on this one.
I think so too.
All right, what's next?
Moving on again, we have the 1/12 Terrifier. Art the Clown from Terrifier. Okay. However people want to say it. I'm going to call him Art, but to each their own.
Okay, so 1/12. I know we have a lot of new statue fans here and figure fans, so I'm trying to give you the idea.
That means he's little.
So 1/12 is going to be about 6 inches, 7 inches, somewhere around there.
So it's kind of like action figure that you would buy at the store size. Just for perspective, it's somewhere in there of like pretty little statue.
But Mezco is probably one of the best for that size because they do have the cloth. Like if you go to Walmart and you buy a figure, chances are it's all going to be plastic. Mezco, on many of their cases, they're going to have 3 or 4 different heads. They're going to have 10 hands. They're going to have some gadgets. This one has an extra, like a dummy head and a saw blade and all kind of extra things. But it's going to be a smaller type figure. So you do have all of that really compacted down. So maybe the detail is not as good as something like a statue. But I would say if you're looking for a smaller figure with a smaller price point, this Mezco would be a great place to look.
I'm going to play the cons here on this because that's what I do. And my only thing is it is very small, and I feel like if I had a collection of other horror figures, for instance, the Michael Myers, putting tiny Art the Clown next to it doesn't really make me feel great, in my opinion. But obviously, if this is, what you want to do, I would say go for it. However, I will say we don't get nearly as much Art the Clown merchandise as we get some of other horror icons. And it is because he's new and rights are kind of all up in the air right now of who can make what. but I would love to in the future see a 1/6 or 1/4, whatever, of Art the Clown in a really cool, fun pose.
Yeah, so let me just kind of play teacher here. So 1/12 is about 6 inches. A 1/6, if we're talking like a 6-foot person,
Yes.
is about 12 inches. So there's a significant jump between a 1/12 and a 1/6, and then like a 1/4 is about 18 or 19 inches. And obviously, as the sizes get larger, you're going to be able to get more and more detail. But I'm not sure how much more detail you would get for Art the Clown,
Right, and I don't think...
or like a ghost face or something like that.
And my thing is, I don't think, especially with a lot of horror figures, that getting half scales and like life-size scale figures are worth it, in my opinion. Obviously, I'm talking my collection.
We're talking about detail
Detail-wise, I don't think for me that would be worth it. Now, if it was like a really, really cool quarter scale or really, really cool third scale, like something that would have to be like absolutely blowing my mind cool, I'd be all about it. For Art the Clown, if you could get like a 10th scale or a quarter scale, something like that, I feel like that would be about all you would need for him, detail-wise.
I think a lot of this would depend on like the base, kind of like the Michael Myers. The Michael Myers is not a giant statue, but it has a pretty elaborate base, which kind of adds to it, and it's not just guy standing there with a knife.
Yes, and that's what Art the Clown deserves, and I hope, crossing my fingers to see it in the future, that we get some really, really cool art statues.
So if you're looking for a cheaper version,
then this is the one for you.
Well, and cheaper than that, you might look at like NECA.
They're also very good.
Is kind of what you're going to get at Target, and those are probably going to be about $40, and this one's probably going to be about $115, $120, somewhere in that range. So if you like that, if you're looking for it, because I know we have a lot of people getting into the hobby.
And a lot of toy collectors. I've seen a lot of toy collectors who do action figures and things. And if that's your then I would definitely go for this one.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because this would match the sizes of the Marvel Legends and things like that.
I think in my personal opinion and for my collection, I'm going to have to go on this one. But like I said, if we ever get a really cool art statue, I'd be on that thing super fast. I'd be all about it.
Yeah, I agree. But this one, so we're going to wait for a better art for us.
For us
down the road.
But I would recommend this one. I think it's really, really cool.
All right, this one got to go. So that broke our streaks. We're not getting all of them.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
And now we're kind of going to a really different path. We're going to do Trick or Treat Studios, Billy, the puppet from Saw. So
for those of you who don't know, Trick or Treat Studios... they do a lot of horror figures. They do a lot of dolls,
like Chucky.
They got a really big push from doing the Chucky dolls and the Tiffany and the Glenn from Child's Play, Chucky, all of that. And now they released this.
Pennywise.
They did do a Pennywise. Trick or Treat Studios is not cheap. They're by any means, these are not cheap figures, but they're also not cheaply made either. These are, if you know anything about like puppets and how puppets are made, these are you could use these as real puppets. So a lot of them, sometimes their eyes will move, or, they'll be used as a real doll, something in that kind of category, that a lot of the time it's a really elaborate showpiece. And I don't think this one is any different. The detail in this one is so good. I love it. I love it so much. I love that they put the sparkly shoes. I see a lot of people forget the sparkly shoes on Billy, and that's really annoying. So I'm glad that they did that.
I feel that he needs a tricycle.
I feel like for the price that this is,
you might have to go and buy him a tricycle and put him on it.
I think that would be deserving. Like I said, Trick or Treat Studios is not cheap.
No, we're going to be a couple $100.
Yes, these are definitely a price jump from what we talked about previously in this video. Even I love this, and I'm going to play the con side the same way I played with art. I think it's just too expensive. I love it. The design's great, but at the same time, it's still a puppet. And I feel like I could get one cheaper. It's just in my brain where I'm at that it's a little too expensive.
Well, you kind of go, the only important detail about Billy is going to be the head.
Absolutely.
Because like the clothes are
and the sparkly shoes.
easily done. Well, but you know what I mean. Those could be easily done on a cheaper level. Yes. I feel like.
Yeah, I think that is my only issue with this is the price, because I love it very much and I will be getting a Billy eventually. It just might not be this particular one. And
this one might actually be too big.
It's also very large.
So as we talked about, I mean, there's things that you just have to kind of fit in your collection, right. And most of our horror stuff is going to be 1/6. Yes. Now we did pre-order the 1/3 Crow. That's right. Going to be a large piece, but almost everything else is like the Sideshow Crow, NECA Ghost Face, things like that are going to be the smaller. Yeah. Then you would have like this giant puppet on the side, which would look good, but I mean, we're getting into statue money.
It is.
Here.
I think this one is also going to be a go. And just as a reminder that in this video, we are talking about for our personal collections. Right. I am in no way, shape, or form discouraging you, if this is what you want, to go get it. Well, all of these are good enough to make it into the video in the first place.
Exactly.
We've gone through a whole process of elimination to get to this point.
Right. So you're right. Everything that we put up in these videos, we like.
Yes.
We like enough to talk about, because some stuff is just like, no.
Right.
No, but this one we really like. I do like it.
I love it so much.
It just doesn't quite fit for us.
I'm such a fan of the Saw movies too. You can say what you want to. I don't care. But I really do like the movies.
Now, if they had this as a statue with Jigsaw,
that would be really.
So if you had,
make that.
So if you had like a quarter scale Jigsaw with the Billy the Puppet,
yes, somebody make that, because I would eat that up.
Yeah, that would be something we would grab.
Yes. Oh, and by the way, this puppet is not Jigsaw, so stop saying that. Like
this is Billy.
This is Billy the Puppet. He's not Jigsaw. He's not the guy who made the traps. Okay, it's not some doll. All right. So
he's not possessed. He's not a Chucky.
Right. So don't be thinking that.
Yeah.
But this one is going to have to be a go, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think this video was harder.
But we still did. We got two.
We got two. But I think this video is so hard because I do really like all of these so much.
Well, we like horror, and the thing is, you have so many fewer options.
Absolutely.
With horror, I mean, like if you like Marvel or DC, we have. If you like Batman or Spider-Man, there's a trillion statues and things. But when you start getting into like Billy the Puppet, or Art the Clown, even
it's very.
We're hard. Just barely starting to scratch the surface of these.
I think if you are out there and you own a statue company, I don't know who's watching.
PCS.
Right. Anybody? Y'all should make more horror stuff. Get more rights to this stuff. And I know it's not easy, but
or just make one really good statue.
Please, I beg of you. I want better and more horror statues and figures. We need more. We deserve more. And let us know what you think about these. Tell us if you're going to order any of these. And we'll see you next time.